What is happening, my More Squad? We are back with episode 16th of Talk More Sports, hosted by me, your main man, Hudson Moore. Alright, y'all, so it's officially the first week of the 2025 NFL season. Oh my goodness, I am so excited for this season, especially for my Seattle Seahawks, as tomorrow will be game one at home at Lumen Field against the San Francisco 49ers. Ooh, I cannot wait for that game. But we're going to talk about the first two games that have happened. This past Thursday, it was the first game of the Philadelphia Eagles, the reigning Super Bowl champs, against the Dallas Cowboys in their division rival game. And then yesterday was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Los Angeles Chargers in another division rival game. And these two games, man, they were pretty spectacular. They were pretty spectacular in the first two opening games of the season. So we're going to break down each one and I hope you enjoy the show today. All right, y'all. So, as I said, Thursday was the Eagles and Cowboys. First official game of the 2025 NFL season. I got to be honest, people. It was an interesting game. There was a lot of things that happened and transpired very quickly in just one game. And this was the first game too, the very first official game of the season. So we're going to start off with the most obvious one that had the whole world bugging, and it was Jalen Carter spitting on Dak Prescott 6 seconds into the game. Before even the first snap of the game started, it was the kickoff, and then before even the first snap from the Dallas Cowboys from either side, Jalen Carter decided to spit right directly on Dak Prescott. Okay, so what the fuck is wrong with you, Jalen Carter? Like, what the fuck are you trying to do? Like, why? You're spitting on the most highest paid NFL player of all time. And I know that doesn't mean anything, but in a way it should. It's a level of respect, right? Now, if you may have shoved him or something, that's different. Everybody does. The testosterone level are high, right? The egos, everything. It's the first game of the season. It's a division rival game, and we all know the Eagles and Cowboys are one of the most hated teams. Like they hate each other with a passion. They hate each other so much. But for Jalen to do that in the first game, and then you get ejected, right? And then it's like that's your first game, and then you're walking off smiling on the sideline, like what the hell is wrong with you, Jalen? And it's just I don't get it. I just don't get it. It is so dumb. It's so ignorant. It's so irresponsible. You are the best defensive player on that team. You set the tone of that defense in and out every single game. And knowing the kind of money you have coming towards you in the future, it'll be generational type wealth for your family and for yourself. And for you to do some dumb shit like that is so responsible. Remember a couple years ago when he was in the NFL draft, right? When his draft stock went down because of that car crash incident he had, right? Whence why he was supposed to be the number one overall pick, but he ended up being taken ninth overall by the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I know some people it's like, well, that doesn't make much of a difference. It's still top 10. Yeah, but sometimes going from first to ninth can have a big, big downfall on your payday, right? And of course, now 2 years later, with this whole spitting incident, and what Stephen A., Ryan Clark, and Dan Orlovsky talked about in First Take the day after, it's all about your character. What you do and how you do it is how you present yourself to the world. And what you did on national television for the whole world, because again, it's the first game of the season. The whole world has their eyes on you, especially you, Jalen Carter, and the Philadelphia Eagles, because you guys are the reigning Super Bowl champs. You guys, in a lot of eyes, legitimately look like you can actually defend your Super Bowl title, be back to back Super Bowl champs. But doing this, not even before the first snap of the game, is unacceptable. It is truly unacceptable. And then also, you can see the impact of Jalen Carter because at first, you're thinking, okay, the Eagles are just going to run over the Cowboys. Man, one player really makes a difference because you look at that defensive line, it did not look the same. It did not look the same without Jalen Carter. It really didn't. And that's on him, too. Because let's be honest, Eagles only won by 4 points. 4 points. Dak Prescott on the offense had plenty of opportunities to score and take the lead and the win. And that's on their own fault for not doing that. So for Jalen Carter, you almost gave the Eagles an 0-1 start to their season after being the Super Bowl champs last year. So, Jalen Carter, for me, I feel like his punishment should be a very big, hefty fine. And I mean a big, big fan of like the NFL does not condone this. And honestly, a game or two suspension, truly, for week 2 or maybe even week 3, suspended for another week or two. Honestly, that you can shove, you can push, you can trash talk. That's all fine. But the spit on a man, that's a certain level of disrespect that is so unnecessary. It's almost like it really tells us, the world, everybody watching, how you truly feel about this man in particular and how you view many others from your own self perspective as a person when you do something like that to another. And it's just, I don't get it. I truly don't get. I don't know what's in your, and the fact that you were smiling too, right? Like I said in the beginning, you were smiling, so clearly, you don't even give a damn. You don't give a damn that you might be fined very big and you might get suspended for another game or two. I hope he does. I really think he should teach him a lesson. And then again, for today's collegiate games that happen around the world, right? Florida, defensive tackle, I'm assuming on the Florida side, he did the same thing to a South Florida player during the Florida and South Florida game that happened just a few hours ago. He spit it on him too. So obviously, they're looking at you, and again, you're in the NFL. These college players look up to you. And so for you to do that, that may give him the idea of like, oh, if he could do it, I can do it. And then, of course, he got ejected. And most likely that Florida kid is going to pay a very big consequence. He might get kicked off the team and lose his scholarship. And unfortunately, I mean, he's just a kid. So he actually needs that for you, Jalen Carter. You're in the NFL, you get millions. But for him, we don't know. We don't know if he has a whole lot of NIL deal coming his way. So for you, Jalen Carter, it's so unacceptable, man. So I hope he gets fined. And then we kind of go to the defense. That defense, man, it's so much different without Jalen Carter. It really is. And it did not look like the same Philadelphia defense that we saw last season. It truly didn't. And I can even say, even their secondary, without Darius Slay, oh man, their secondary kind of got exposed. CeeDee Lamb worked around him like it was nothing. Even George Pickens had a few nice moves on him. And I'm thinking to myself, man, if Jalen Carter doesn't step up and get his head out of his ass, this Philadelphia Eagles defense may not look like the same. Honestly, it's a bit of a shock because again, it was 24-20 final score of the game. And then it's like they had that big weather delay with the lightning storm. They were delayed for almost about, I would say, a half hour. They resumed very late in the evening. And it was about, I would say, 8 minutes, 4 to 8 minutes left in the third quarter before they delayed the game. And then after that, nobody scored a single point afterwards. Not even the Eagles, not even a field goal. And again, we could say all we want about the Cowboys, but the Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champs. So for the Eagles not to score something after, that's a big concern. That's a very big concern. And I know it's the first game. Some people don't care. Like, first game doesn't matter. Sometimes it does, because then it kind of shows forth, like, okay, what the rest of the season could potentially look like, too. Now, again, every game is different, but sometimes one game can make all the difference in the world. It just truly can. And seeing the Eagles, seeing how exposed their defense is without Darius Slay in the secondary, without Jalen Carter, man, and how many penalties did these guys get? Oh my God, they got so many penalties. I'm like, this is not a very disciplined team, especially on the defensive side, which, of course, I know by average they are the youngest defense in the NFL, averaging the age of, I would say, 24 and a half. So they are very, very young defense. Like, they're only 2.5 years older than me. So it's a very young defense, which sometimes it's a good thing, but still, it's like very undisciplined though. And with all those flags they had in one game, that shows for it. And what Jalen Carter did, that's another thing too. So yeah, man, I hope the Eagles get their shit together. Now, I'm not saying I don't want them to win because, of course, I want my Seahawks to win, obviously. But still, it's like, man, you guys are the reigning Super Bowl champs. You guys set the standards and everything of what it means to be a champion. And to look like this, even though you got the win, and a win is a win, everybody knows in football, a win is a win no matter what. But still, how they win in the first game, if I was an Eagles fan, I wouldn't be all that excited. And then as we flip from the defense, we flip from the offense. Jalen Hurts looked good. He looked very solid. He looked like the same Jalen Hurts from last year, especially in the regular season. Nothing special, nothing to where it's like he still should be in that top five conversation. I think top 10, not top five. After his week one performance, it kind of shows like it's still the same Jalen Hurts. Throwing for 152 yards, two rushing TDs. Oh, no, three rush, no, two rushing TDs, which are solid stats. But again, they're no Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, even Jaden Daniels, right? But again, He can change my mind and he could prove me wrong. But again, what I saw from Jalen Hurts, still the same Jalen Hurts, right? Nothing special. And why did he only target AJ Brown one time? One time in the entire game, you target AJ Brown. I don't. What? Okay, it's kind of the same problem they had last year with targeting the receivers. Even Devontae Smith, they only targeted him three, four times. You should be targeting those guys combined almost 20 times. Okay, maybe let's just say 15, right? But still, it's like you. What are they doing on the receiving end? You got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, probably considered top two or the number one best duo receiver in the league. And you only target them total of four or five times, especially against your division rivals who they don't have a great secondary themselves, so you can eat them alive with your receivers. What are you doing? Seriously, I don't get that. Like, that is a problem right there too. It's like, okay, you didn't target your best receivers that many times. Why? Why? So I hope, man, the Eagles got to get their shit together, man, because even though they won, I wouldn't feel that confident. I mean, if Jalen Carter gets to spend another game, right? Their secondary does not look like the same it was. And again, I know it's a first game, but still, sometimes these are things we have to talk about, and also not be so surprised if the same thing continues, because it's like, well, we saw this already play out, so are we really surprised it happened again, right? But who knows? Anything could change. You got 16 more games to play. So anything could happen. Anything could happen. And we'll see. And for the Dallas Cowboys, I would feel pretty positive. Even though you lost the game with CD, with George Pickens, this could be a pretty stellar offense. If they could just make sure they establish the run game, this offense for the Cowboys could really do some damage. Now, unfortunately, without Michael Parsons, that's a different question on the defensive side. But for the offense, if they could just score and hopefully their defense can somehow, some way come up with a big play or two, this team could not be that terrible as we all expect them to be. So for the Cowboy fans out there listening, watching, I wouldn't feel too negative about that game. I mean, there could be something to work with. There could be. Not a whole lot, but not bad. Not bad at all. Now, as we switch from the Cowboys and Eagles, we switch to yesterday's game in Brazil with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. Ooh, that was another interesting game too, because first quarter, 3-4 plays into the game, Xavier Worthy out with a shoulder injury. You already lost Rashid Rice, wide receiver, for the next 6 games due to off the field issues with the car crash and everything, right? And now you lose Xavier Worthy with a shoulder injury. And by the looks of it, the way he was presenting himself, walking off the field, towel over his head, it does not look good at all. So to lose both Xavier and Rashid Rice for God knows how long for Xavier, but we know for Rashid, this offense is a bit of a question mark. It is, but I will say Patrick Mahomes was still Patrick Mahomes, right? Like he was still the magic Mahomes that we have known over the last 9 years, right? So there's nothing to worry about there. But we can obviously see from Travis Kelsey made some big plays, but still, the age, father time is catching up with that dude. It truly is. It truly is. And that defense, man, this defense was like the vocal point of like how they were able to go to 3 Super Bowls in a row and win 2 out of 3 of them, right? And especially with Chris Jones and Trent McDuffie leading the way, this defense did not look the same. Now, granted, it's a division rival game, so we all know when it comes to division rivals, the other opposing team could always score a lot of points on you because they play against you twice this season. So they know your playbooks, they know your players best, they know the coaching, they know everything about you the best. But still, what the Chargers did, that defense looks a bit of a question mark. I will say Chris Jones just didn't look the same. Trent McDuffie, I don't know. This team overall, it's a bit of a question mark. I Again, it's still the first game, and I understand that, but sometimes you have to talk about these things. And when I look at the Chiefs this season, mine is Patrick Mahomes still being the way he is. I don't know if this team can go far. No, could they go playoffs? Sure, but are we talking about winning AFC Championship, going to their fourth consecutive Super Bowl? No, I'm gonna say right now, if the Chiefs make it to AFC Championship, cool. Will they win the Super Bowl, or actually, will they go to the Super Bowl? I don't think so. I don't think so until something dramatically changes in their season midway through or towards the end where it's like, okay, this is the chief of old that we remember, right? Because we already know what Patrick Mahomes is doing, but can the rest of the team rally behind him? And if not, they will not make it to the Super Bowl. Playoffs? 100%. I mean, they have too much damn experience and too many good players not to, but to make the Super Bowl is a different thing. So I have to say for now, I don't think the Chiefs will make it to the Super Bowl. I truly don't think they will. But hey, big shout out to the Chargers, man. Finally getting a win over Patrick Mahomes after a very long time, like after 4 years. Justin Herbert, man, had a great first game performance. Seriously, I mean, you look at this Chargers offense, it's not bad. I mean, you got Keenan Allen, you got Will Disley, you got Lev McCoy. I mean, you got some pretty good players. You got some studs, honestly. Now, I wish they would have kept Mike Williams, because I feel like he could have been another great addition as wide receiver. But looking at this team, Chargers getting a big win over the team that was runner up in the Super Bowl, that's a statement game. That shows, okay, the Chargers, they're here to play. Like, they can actually be legitimately in the conversation now with the Chiefs, with the Bengals, with the Bills, with the Ravens, right? So good job for Justin Herbert. I mean, he had himself a game. I mean, he looked solid. I mean, he looked like the Justin Herbert we've kind of been waiting to see for a long time. And hopefully he can continue that all the way through the season. Hopefully, if they make the playoffs, he can actually win them a playoff game, right? And not blow another big lead, right? If you know what I mean. So yeah, good job from the Chargers, man, especially in the debut for international in Brazil too, of all. Yeah, Brazil. Oh my goodness. And hey, big shout out to the crowd in Brazil, all that fan base. I mean, seriously, I love the energy they brought there, because we know how much they love their football, but man, they sure definitely love their football. And I gotta say, big shout out to those Brazil fans, because y'all were amazing. I loved it. Loved hearing your national anthem. I could see the just the happiness, the enjoyment, the love through with that song, and then just seeing the excitement, seeing all the different kind of fans, because it wasn't just Chiefs and Chargers fans. I saw a few Seahawks fans, right? See other fans of other teams. So big shout out to Brazil, man. You guys did a great job hosting the NFL. I loved it. It was fantastic. So yeah, I mean, I have to say these last two games were pretty damn spectacular. I can't wait for tomorrow when Sunday hits, when we got all the NFL games going, and we got my Seahawks made their home debut. First game of the week, first game of the season against the 49ers at Lumen Field. Oh my God, I can't wait to see what Sam Darnold does. I am so excited. Then, hey, thank you everybody watching out there. Comment down below. What do you think about Jalen Carter spitting on Dak Prescott? How do you feel about the Eagles and Cowboys? What do you think about the Chiefs and the Chargers? Make sure you comment down below. Tell me everything you feel like. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get these followers up. Follow my journey, people. Please follow me. I'm going to make sure I give you content every single Monday, Friday, and Saturday. Please follow me. And I got you. I got you. If you all want more in sports, I got you. I got you. And I always will. All right. Hope you enjoy the show. Stay tuned for Monday's show. And with that being said, we'll be back with more next time.